I gotta push the narrative, 100%.
True. Wizards have to stick together, you know. But it is time to see the Zergs.
Oh my god! Oh my god! He's off racing! Ah!
Hold on. I was gonna say Zergs.
He's off racing!
Like, you promised me a ZvZ.
I did! Ah!
I'm feeling an official complaint.
What is happening?
To be fair, I feel like I've seen aunties do this before, but hey, here we go. In the top right corner, about to find out what is going on, we have the green Zerg player representing Apprentice Esports. It is Ukko.
I forgot this was a thing. Because spawning in the bottom left hand corner of 2000 Atmospheres ALE, we have normally a Zerg player, but I remember this was also the case in DreamHack Winter last year. He does not enjoy the mirror matchup. He does play Protoss against Zerg. So now the Protoss player representing Apprentice Esports, it is Antis.
SMH.
SMH. Oh, we have a Forge first! Or a Nexus Forge opener. He's going for the cannon rush.
Yeah. Wait, was it Forge Fast Expand as they called it back in the day?
Kind of. So this is a macro cannon rush, as Stardock has dubbed it. The point of this is is just to deny the base. You know, and it's very, very uncommittal. Usually, you only make enough cannons to force a cancel, and that's it.
Well, looks like Antis managed to set up here at the third.
He lets it finish.
Thingy.
Oh,
Ooh, actually interesting.
Bold move by Ukko. He lets the hatchery finish, and behind this, he skips link speed and goes straight for a Roach Warren.
He can see the cannons, right?
Yes.
Okay.
It was.
I was just checking.
Yeah, that was a choice. That was a choice made by Ukko.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I mean, it buys him a little bit of time, but
I don't think he intends to save it. I think he just wanted this for larva, maybe. Because this hatchery is going to fall. The Roach Warren is only just now going to finish up. Antis has to be feeling pretty good about this, but looking at Antis' vision, he even saw the Roach Warren. He knows.
Yeah, there you go. And yeah, he's making these roaches at the hatchery, but I'll be fair, I'm not sure if this was worth it just for the larva.
Oh my god. Yeah, I mean, I think so, because he's going for the roach rush, right? So he needed as much larva to work with as possible. Okay. He's going across the map with roaches. What I would say is that this isn't going to work just because Antis scattered. Like, Antis knows what's coming his way. Even though he knows, though, he doesn't really have anything.
Yeah, he doesn't have any units because he was like, oh yeah, I did the cannon rush, I guess now I can just, you know, macro up, just like get some resources, and like he has literally nothing. He has cannons. Cannons are very nice, but those are Ravagers morphing, so they will be able to snipe them.
Yeah, here we go. The Ravagers are here. He will be able to snipe that cannon. First cannon is going to go down, and we only have cannons to defend right now.
Yeah, and look, they're out of range still, and these tech buildings will eventually fall as well.
Yo, is the gateway going to fall before the Stalker comes out? Is it going to fall before it's going to fall! Oh! Ooh. Oh my god.
Yeah, the Stalker comes out because Ukko was not really focusing it, but still, one Stalker versus all of these Ravagers? There's no shield batteries yet.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Ukko, he's going to try and deal with this, but, I mean, with the shield battery, with the cannons, it looks like Antis will be able to defend.
Yeah, it does look like he does not have like any production right now, because I'm pretty sure this was the only gateway. He's making 2 more. No? Yeah, he's made 2 more. But that was the gateway he has been using so far, and he instead goes for a Stargate behind this.
Yeah, this is the typical response here from a Forge opener, or even from a Nexus Forge, is to go into that Stargate. Thankfully for Antis, the Cybercore wasn't focused down or anything like that, so his Stargate wasn't delayed, and now he can, you know, get into the swing of things. Meanwhile, Ukko has to try and catch up. Again, the early Roaches didn't really do much of anything. They forced a response, like they forced a bunch of defensive cannons, but that's just minerals, you know?
Yeah, even the Stalkers are moving to the other side of the map, and that's just the beginning, because the Oracle is getting ready, and there's literally no anti-air for Ukko other than his queens.
Yeah, exactly. It's not going to have that many. Meanwhile, the Ravagers are being hunted down by these Stalkers. Even Overlords. Ay. Going to be supply blocking Ukko here. Oof.
Which makes it even worse. Now the drones are starting to fall. The queens are transferring, but 3 are already down, and now the Oracle just flies into the main.
Yeah, there are no spores. The queens are struggling to keep up with said spore. 4 drones already going down, and we have more oracles where that came from.
7 oracles.
Stop it, Kuro. Stop it.
Never forget.
Stop it.
It's gonna happen eventually, you know it.
I mean,
there's the second Stargate on the way.
I mean, he may do it. I just don't want him to do it. He's making a third orc.
You said that you've seen crazy things in the previous series. I expect mass oracle. Let's do it.
We'll see. He has a third oracle on the way, which is still standard, by the way. 3 oracles isn't anything to write home about. Plus 1 air attack is on the way, and we'll see what gets built from the other Stargates.
Yeah, I mean, if he's getting +1, it's not oracles, obviously, because pretty sure the laser from oracles isn't actually affected by upgrades, because it is a spell.
Oh, the fun facts coming out from Kuro. Meanwhile,
I'm not sure if it's classified as spell or ability, but I am pretty sure it is not affected by upgrades.
Yeah, meanwhile, we do have a little bit of a Ling run by, but the Gateway Army is here. The Lings aren't really going to be doing too much. He does focus down 3 probes for his trouble, which is something, I guess, but Antis defends, and he is going for that double Stargate Void Ray.
Yep. It's nice that the third base got a shield battery as well, so now the probes are well protected, even if there were run-bys coming. So Antis does not have to worry about that too much.
Yeah. Oh, God. At the same time, you know, Antis is doubling down with the Sky Toss. We have a Fleet Beacon on the way. We have a third Stargate as well to just go into all these Void Rays. We'll see if he decides to go straight into Tempest or Carriers, or if he's just getting the Fleet Beacon to go into Flux Veins, like Void Ray Speed. I assume that's the case, as I was going to say he's not making anything else, but it's because he's supply blocked.
Right. I'm getting flashbacks. The last time we got a player going for mass void raid, their probe was taken away and there was a Nexus involved.
Yeah, I mean, but that was a pro player against a diamond player. Like
I know.
Oh, God. Don't worry, Kuro, don't worry. But yeah, Antis, he's embracing his Protoss side right now. He's going full degen and just going straight for Sky Toss after a cannon rush. Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting.
And he's actually taking into carriers from there. So I feel like carriers are more standard than Tempests are, but both are fairly common.
Yeah, definitely.
It's Oracle.
As the Oracle gets 4 more drone kills, we get focused down. We do see Ukko responding nicely, going into a Spire. I do think the Spire is a little bit late, though. So the Corruptors, as a response, are going to take a little bit before they can come out.
The poor Queen keeps getting into the stages.
Oh, God. Let him free. Let him free. And also, I do appreciate that Antis isn't neglecting his ground army either. It looks like he also wants to supplement his Sky Toss with a couple of disruptors.
What if Carrier Colossus?
Aha. I mean, maybe.
Look, I made one crazy series. I want to see something crazy, okay?
The problem with going for Colossus is that, like, Corruptor's kind of both of them, you know? Like, you want you want to diversify your army a little bit with what you have to work with, as the carriers are immediately going across the map. And this is honestly a great moment here, because even though the Spire is done, Ukko doesn't have any Corruptors in production right now.
He's making some spores, but I don't think they are enough to stop this army. Oh, there are actually 2 at this base, so they will maybe get Oracle. Not really then.
There's a little bit of a Ling run by. Antis does turn around for a moment. 44 more Lings on the way. Again, there was a big opportunity to push out across the map. Looking at the anti-air, we have 7 Queens, and that's it. And they're not the most mobile units. So Antis could have dealt some damage, but unfortunately, he turns around, he comes back home, and he's allowing Ukko to make Corruptors.
I was gonna say, but light, there is 1 Corruptor in production. Exactly 1. But now Ukko actually is making more.
Yeah, so Antis missed his timing here. He's pushing out now, but again, Ukko will have a higher chance at defending at this timing instead. So we'll see how this engagement will go with the Queens, Corruptors, and Spores.
Yeah, I mean, this army does not stop, so the Corruptors, there's only still a few Corruptors, but once the rest of them pops up, like, they should be able to at least deal with some of this army.
Yeah, exactly. As you were saying, no, there's only 4 Corruptors. Now is not the time to fight Ukko, as he loses every single one. There's only a single one remaining. The hatchery falls, the Queens will fall as well. Antis did not miss his timing. He deals an insane amount of damage, but he has to come back home because of the massive counterattack.
Yeah, and he does that, just that. He snipes a base, he recalls back home, and he defends his own. So, very nicely done for Antis.
Yeah, and it looks like he may also lose a carrier here in the process. What do we have to help protect them? We need more Void Rays. Flux Veins is on the way, and the carrier survives.
Yeah, things are really looking up for Antis this game.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Love to see the Void Ray switch here to help protect those carriers from the Corruptors. Meanwhile, from the side of Ukko, do we have a Hive? Hive is still on the way, so we don't have any Spellcasters yet. Ukko just relying on Corruptors, Queens, and Spores. And there aren't that many Spores. Or Queens.
And Spores or Queens. And there's still not a lot of Corruptors, though their flock of them is actually getting bigger, but they still have a hard time contesting this Proto Sky.
Yeah, I'm really worried here for Ukko because he hasn't been remaking his Queens. He has 3 Queens right now, just for injects, and that is it. At the same time, we do have a little bit of a run by. It looks like he will be able to deny a base here of Antis, but he cannot fight the army. He only has 12 Corruptors. Oh no, the Spire!
Ooh, the Spire is even being focused, so... Yeah, Ukko may lose more than a base here.
Yeah, exactly. He may just lose the game. The Archons are here to help buffer as well. They're not really helping out against these Corruptors. They're out of position, but it doesn't even matter.
Yeah, GG's called. Antis takes game number 1.
GG, well played. The Protoss of Antis greater than the Zerg of Antis? Question mark?
Was Jim better at Zerg? I mean, better at Protoss than he was at Zerg when he was playing?
No.
Okay.
He just did it.
Just wanted to make sure that that's clear.
He just did it because he had fun playing as Protoss against Zerg, and
But did he win as Protoss versus Zerg?
Yeah, he would win. But his ZvZ is probably like some of the best in all of Latin America, so we would always be upset.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like, man, what are you doing? You know, you're Zerg. You can do well, puppy. You can do well.
Hey, look. A lot of the pros like will have a second race that they also ladder with like fairly frequently. But typically it's not as good as their first one, but often as good means it's just behind. So, you know, it depends. It depends on person to person.
Yeah.
There are some people who are successful at switching.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there are plenty, especially like Zerg's going to Protoss. And again, this is just for this matchup. And I mean, he's good at it.
I mean you say that, but we have Tez recently.
True.
Who's also apparently pretty decent. But anyway, we are in game number 2, now on Curious Minds LE. As once again, we are looking at the base of the green Zerg. Green, like the logo of his team. It's representing Apprentice Esports. It is Ukko.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Curious Minds LE, we have the American, used to be Zerg, but now Protoss player representing Apprentice Esports. It is Antis.
I was gonna say that's an interesting spot for a pylon.
Made the hard counter. Ukko opened up with a pull first.
Ooh. Wait, he's not gonna wall him off.
He's
wall
trying.
him in,
He is attempting to wall him in right now.
With he can fit another building there.
So, this is so smart. You can fit another building here. So this is just for proxy zealots so they can get in. There's no way to counterattack across the map, but the gases are being taken. Antis gets denied the wall.
Yeah, it almost worked out, but it doesn't look like there will be that wall. So he just has to see what he can do with these first units, but with the pull already done, I don't think it should be much.
I'm pretty sure the Lings will be able to kill this pylon before the Zelds come out. I'm pretty sure.
You think so?
Ukko does leave his post, so now this pylon should be safe. Lings are on the way here. Spines as well. It looks like, okay, with Chrono Boost, one Zealot will come out in time. And because there's a probe here, like, he can body block and, again, throw down a building if need be.
I don't think pro bodies are that big, but let's see how it goes.
Yeah, like, again, because he throws down a pylon, like, his own pylon will be safe and sound. The Lings cannot depower these gateways. Oh! Get a bit of surround.
Yeah. One Zealot already goes down, second one goes down as well. I feel the Lings did fall, but there's still quite a few of them left.
Yeah, and again, with two pylons, like, we are going to be seeing a second wave of Zelts. Back at home, Antis is attempting to transition here with a Cybercore and with his gases. Not the most cleanest transition, because that was never the original plan, but he will be doing it.
Yes, indeed. As the Lings are starting to slowly clean up this proxy location, they're surrounding the Zealot once again, but this is a bit of a nicer spot with the wall behind their back.
Yeah, eventually the Zelts are going to go down. Eventually the pylon will go down as well. As a desperation move, Antis is going straight into a Stargate. But if we see a Ling Flood behind this, and we do see Ling Speed, Ukko, he can just go across the map. He leaves the pylon alone. He wants to go and try and deny the Stargate.
I mean, he can deny the Stargate. He may deny what will be produced from that Stargate, though, as the wall is wide open.
That's what I mean. He can just focus down the pylon. He will be able to deny any kind of production there. And Antis knows he's trying to save it. He's trying to stop the surround.
Yeah, the probes are fighting so well there. Oh, a bit of mineral walking, and yeah, the Lings are being chased away.
Yeah, the A move from Ukko. Because of that, the reinforcing Lings are stuck at home. They are not here helping across the map.
This Oracle will complete and it should be able to deal with the Lings.
Yeah, exactly. Like, there was a lot of damage done to this gateway where the Lings, they could have been across the map, they could have been helping, but alas, was not meant to be. The Oracle does have to stay home though because of all these Lings.
Yeah. Which is nice for Ukko, that at the very least he's keeping Antis at his base. But he did not deny that transition. And I would like to just remind everyone that Antis has no gateways, because the only two that are on the map are the ones that are unpowered on the other side of it.
Yeah. Thankfully, he can still throw down Stargates, because he does have the Cybercore. He is going straight away into Void Rays. But, like, expanding and, like, actually establishing your natural is going to be so difficult for Antis.
Yeah, like, there is no defense. It's just these air units. And, like, while the air units are nice, Void Rays are not great with dealing with Zerglings, and Oracles run out of energy eventually. So it may get a bit tricky.
Yeah, like, if this was the previous patch, Ukko could just go for a Queen Walk, and he could probably just end the game. Because that isn't the case, we'll see what his answer is going to be. I do really like the Mass Ling. Again, Lings don't shoot up, but Lings can stop Nexuses from building.
And once again, because of the way that that opening build went, Antis has no wall, neither in natural nor in his main, so the Lings can just freely go into his base, as they do so now.
Yeah, exactly. The Void Rays across the map, so is the Oracle. He will be able to get one of these queens, as again, like, these gateways are forcing a lot of really awkward, like, pathing for the said queens. One Void Ray does come out. Is it going to be enough?
This is what I'm saying, like, it's targeting the Zerglings one by one. Looks like it will be just enough to hold the base, but it can get very risky.
Yeah, and this is great. We may be seeing a recall soon because we have another wave of links coming. And again, this base, it should not finish unless the rest of the units will come back home.
And more links are streaming through across the map, and this one Void Ray is struggling to defend from all of them. Even a probe coming here will be killed as well. Now the Oracle is back, but the Nexus is gonna fall regardless.
Yeah, it's a little bit too little too late. Ukko does get a kill on the natural base, even getting some drones as well, some probes even.
Yeah, all these transferring probes were very unlucky, and they go down to the links.
And now back at home, we have a lair on the way, we're droning up, we're setting up with all of our queens, with all of our spores as well. Ukko, he's got options, but if he wants to, he can just go straight into a spire from here. These Void Rays have a lot of work to do.
By the way, Ukko has not lost a drone yet. And Anti's lost 12.
Yeah. Oh, but that hatchery is looking pretty low. We don't have a lot of transfuses. Yo, he's gonna get the third.
It looks like he may.
Oh, transfuse! Oh!
Yeah, the transfuse is just enough, but I think the borders are overpowering it.
Yeah, honestly, that is pretty huge. 3 Void Rays are enough, just enough to take down that base. So Ukko is knocked down to 2 bases. But at the same time, the links are back.
Yeah, the links are back and the base cannot be cancelled anymore, so it's once again at risk, while the probes are calmly just keep mining.
Yeah, exactly. The probes, they turn around, they're trying to add whatever DPS they can, but once again, it is not going to be enough. For the second time, the Nexus gets killed.
Yeah, this is very unfortunate for Antis, as at the same time, Ukko is double expanding for his 3rd and 4th base, so he will be so much ahead in the economy.
Yeah, I mean, he needs to double expand because of the kill in his 3rd. Like, he has to catch up after that. But, like, because he's keeping his opponent on 1 base, like, it's fine. Also, I don't know if you noticed, but Ukko has been looking for ninja bases, just in case there is a Nexus somewhere on the map that he doesn't know about. So, he is 100% confirming that, like, how far ahead he is.
Oh, and this base actually gets denied by the Void Rays, so that's, again, a very nice little thing for Antis, but there are so many queens in the natural, you don't want to go there.
Yeah, that's why, like, if you're a Zerg player, GG gets caught. Ukko takes it, Antis throws in the towel. I was gonna say that if you're a Zerg player and if your opponent has, like, map control with Void Rays like that, you have to double expand, because if you don't, then your 3rd is just gonna be cancelled. So thankfully there, he cancels 1, but he had another on the way. He was more than well prepared enough for that. And we are tied up 1-1.
Yeah, yes we are.
Oh boy.
Yes, we have our next lobby being set up.
What the hell is Antis going to do now, Kuro, in game 3? What's the plan?
I mean, he didn't do anything too crazy. Or did he?
So,
like, Antis is like opening with like this, oh, look, I'm gonna catch you with this. And then it's like,
I mean, I'm pretty sure Ukko is going to open pool first every single game. Like, we've seen a cannon rush and we've seen a proxy gate, right? Like, I feel like pool first needs to be thrown down. And because of that, I think Antis needs to stop with the early game shenanigans, because otherwise he will be shut down the same way he's been.
I feel like he either needs to stop or he needs to go for something more crazy. Because I feel like these things they are not committed enough, you know? I don't know.
Well, the problem is that, like, going for something crazy works if your opponents are playing standard. But again, like, if Ukko's going pool first, like, doesn't matter what you're doing.
You have a point.
We'll see.
But we are now loaded into Hardware LE. As in the bottom left corner, we have the green Zerg player representing Apprentice Esports. It is Ukko.
And spawning in the top right hand corner of Hardwire LE, we have the American Protoss player representing Apprentice Esports as well. Usually Zerg, but now finding his true calling as Protoss. It is Antis.
Oh no. Oh no, look what he's doing.
Destroying down a pylon. He's not taking any gases. He's doing. It looks like he wants to do it again. But we had to pull first again. This is the thing. Like.
Yeah, it's like Antis.
He's doing it.
We need something better than this.
He's walling off.
He's actually walling off this time, so that's better than last time in that regard.
Yeah, unfortunately this time Ukko didn't have his patrolling drone.
Yeah, if you remember, like last time, Antis wasn't able to get that wall. I'm not even sure if it was because of the patrolling drone or if it was like a misplacement, like by 1 hex or something.
Yeah. But, I mean, regardless, if there was a drone patrolling here, then Ukko could have stopped it. So, a little bit of a mistake. But because of the early pull and the early gas, like, he is already well prepared to deal with this.
Yeah. And once again, unfortunately for Ukko, like, these frigates here mean that he has no production at home. So, if they get destroyed, like, he will be defenseless for a while.
Yeah, I mean, again, like he's all in with this. You can transition, as we saw last game. Last game, he was able to transition, kind of out of it, but he did struggle regardless. Meanwhile, the Lings are already chipping away at the first gateway, but the Zealot will pop out. It can, almost get surrounded, but second Zealot pops out as well.
2 of them pop up almost at the same time, which is nice. Unfortunately, the probe dies, so there will be no like support shield batteries or anything, but at the very least the Zealots do come out.
Yeah, and I love this from Antis. Gases are being taken, Cybercore as well. It looks like he also wants to probably go for a Stargate.
Yeah, that seems very likely with his previous games. See, the difference to previous game is that we actually have 4 Zealots already out, and they keep coming.
And I love what Ukko is doing, by the way. He did not pull out of gas. He gets Ling speed, and he's got a Baneley Nest on the way. He is planning to Bane bust through these Zealots, just break through the wall, and just counterattack, and we're going to see a repeat of the last game.
Oh, no. Antis, please.
Here we go. The Banelings are on the way. Ling speed is about to finish up. Ukko is getting ready to break free from his own side of the map. And Antis has no idea.
Yeah, Antis is actually taking a Stargate, making an Adept. It's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna harass with the Adept, and I'm gonna switch to Stargate, but no, there's no time. The Lings are here.
The reaction! All the Zealots go down. There's only 2 remaining, and the Lings are gonna be able to clean the rest of them up. Meanwhile, the Adept, what side is it gonna pop out on? It does pop out on the correct side. We'll be able to chip away, and this is gonna slow this down. Ukko, can he even break through? Yes, he will.
Yeah, I think so. No, this Adept actually gets a little bit stuck, but it's gonna shade away and save its life. But now the Lings are on the way to Antis' map.
Yeah, exactly. We need a wall. We have a second wall as well. The Stargate finishes up. Void Ray is on the way, but will it come out in time to save himself before the Lings break through?
I don't think Lings will break through too easily through this. I mean, there's not a lot of surface area on any of these buildings, but this pylon will fall eventually.
Yeah, and there's only 1 pylon powering everything, so that will depower the Void Ray. Unfortunately, he wasted some time on the low ground, killing that low ground pylon instead, but he will depower everything.
Ooh, very nice. It like stops the Void Ray as well, and Ukko takes another point.
Wow, GG, well played. Ukko once again, so decisive with his reaction here to these gateways, to this proxy. He knows exactly what he wants to do, and boom, he just executes.
Yeah, very nicely done by Ukko. Like, he was patient, he didn't like jump on it, even though like the Zealots were like stuck in there. Like, he knew exactly what he had to do, and it worked out. Also, those poor Zealots being kept on hold as the Banelings were just waddling into them.
Feels bad, man. Feels bad. Alright.
So that puts Ukko on match point, right?
Yeah, Ukko only needs 1 more to qualify for the main event. Meanwhile, Antis has to fight back that much harder. Oh boy. Has to win 1 more to make it to the ace match.
I mean, I just want to say, like, this was Antis' choice to play Protoss in the series.
True.
Would it be different if he played Zerg? I don't know.
I'm curious, how good is Antis' Protoss 12 pool defense? Because we are on Berlingrad.
Oh boy. I mean, I don't know if we're gonna see that, to be frank. Like, looking at previous games of Antis, at the previous openings, I'm not sure if we will get to the defense.
He's not
of
making
12.
a drone. It's happening. Let's go.
Oh boy.
Go for it. Go for
As
it.
I has been saying, we have this player right here, the blue Zerg. Probably going for a 12 pool as we see. It is Ukko.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Berlingrad LE, we have the American Protoss player representing Apprentice Esports. As I was saying before, how good is his 12-pool defense? It is Antis.
He's making a gate at home. Progress.
Yeah, interesting positioning there with that gateway. He does go for a probe scout. He is spending a little bit of time here at the natural base, so he's going to be delaying his main base scout. But there we go. He does go up anyway, and he will confirm the pool timing.
He will confirm that Ukko killed the dog.
Oh,
It's
Ukko, please. Meanwhile, this isn't just a 12 pool. Drone is across the map. We are going to be seeing a proxy hatch as well.
That's very nice. And it's gonna go right into the natural because the wall is not finished.
The wall is not a wall. The drone is gonna come in here. We have plenty of resources. And oh, he was trying to go for a hatchery, but he does get denied there by that probe.
Yeah, that probe blocks the hatchery in the wall, but...
Oh! Can you get it?
Actually gets the kill of the probe.
Oh, and instead Ukko expands back at home. He doesn't go for the proxy hatch, only a regular 12 pool.
Yeah, very interesting there. And there is a zealot already in the wall, so he's gonna probably protect it fairly okay. But still, that wall looks a little bit awkward, I have to say.
Yeah, I mean, what's important is that the cybercore isn't exposed. What? The cybercore isn't exposed, so there's not that much surface area. Again, the goal here for Ukko is to kill the cybercore. Meanwhile, the zealot has to be so careful not to expose itself. Oh.
Yeah, Ukko is just waiting for the moment, but now there are two zealots and adepts on the way, so Ukko knows that there's probably not much he can get here.
Yeah, very nice defense by Antis. He keeps everything up and running. Threw down his second pylon as a part of the wall, so that means his tech will be here on the low ground, but he survives the 12 pool.
Yeah, indeed he does. It looked risky for a moment, but it turned out it was just right.
Oh boy. And now we are going to settle down and go into a more standard game. Let's go. This could be the most standard out of all the games we've had so far in this series.
I was gonna say, they've never been here. Do they know what's happening?
Oh god.
To be fair, I wonder how good in general Antis Protoss is. Like, I don't know how often. I mean, it must be decent because he decides to compete with it. But like, I wonder what is the difference between his Zerg and his Protoss.
Well, like again, when it comes to this matchup specifically, I don't know if it's necessarily about him being better with his Zerg. Probably just it's more of an enjoyable thing. Like, there are a lot of people that don't enjoy playing ZvZ just because of how cutthroat it is, and you could argue it can be a little bit more difficult because of that. So it's just like, screw that. I'll just focus on my PvZ, and I wouldn't be surprised if MMR wise for this matchup specifically, like he's as good with his Protoss.
I would say, I mean, when you say you don't want ZvZ because it's cutthroat, but then you have Protoss who needs to perfectly defend a 12 pool, or they're just straight up done.
Yeah, but it's like it's relatively straightforward, or I'm sure, like,
yeah.
Like, again, there's the reason why Antis plays Protoss instead of Zerg for this, you know? He doesn't want to die to a random Baneling waddling in, you know? He's got a full wall to stop that stuff from happening, you know? It's all good.
True, very true.
Oh. But, yeah, now we have a third on the way here for both of our players. Again, everything's looking pretty standard. Antis probably going to go for Sky Toss. He is a bit of a Sky Toss enjoyer, but I love this from Ukko. Very fast lair.
Yeah, very nice. We'll see what that lair will be for, as we have Roach Warren being thrown down.
Yeah, I think Ukko may be hard countering Antis a little bit here, because Antis is a little bit predictable with how he plays the game. he doesn't go Glaive Adepts, he doesn't go Blink Stalkers, he doesn't go for Charge Lots, he goes for Sky Toss. And the Stargate opener was already scouted, so Ukko's like, okay, if you're gonna go straight into Stargate like this, I'm gonna go straight into Aspire. Like, that's what I feel like this is, but we'll see, we'll see.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was just for like a massive roach timings and just, you know, to go across the map and like basically deal with Antis before he gets to like Skytos, but I guess we're gonna find out.
Yeah, exactly. As the second Stargate's on the way, +1 air attack as well. The lair just finished up for Ukko, and there is the Spire.
Yeah, there it is.
So again,
it would definitely help him.
Yeah, I mean, again, this is kind of a hard counter. Like, maybe not. Maybe I wouldn't use that strong of a verbiage for it. But like, he's setting himself up really well to fight against Skytos.
Yeah, definitely. And he has a lot of time to do so as well because he started so early.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like he still got that Roach Warren just for safety, like in case something showed up, he has the option to make roaches. But again, it's not something he really needs. Oracle dips in and does get a revelation off, but the Oracle hasn't seen the lair and hasn't seen the tech.
Yeah, it actually keeps going around the edge bases, but does not go into the main. And doesn't really get much damage done either. I think that like it killed like a Link and maybe a single drone. I'm not quite sure.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And I'll be honest, I'm really worried for Antis right now because the reason why I said like quote unquote hard counter, if Antis goes straight into carriers right now, I think he just dies. You like the problem is that he didn't see the Spire. If he saw the Spire, then he would make more Void Rays. But oh, never mind. It's not Corruptors. He's going to Mutas.
Yeah, I was gonna say Ukko is actually going for Mutas. I mean, they're also good, especially if you start massing them up early.
Yeah.
But we'll see how they deal with the Skytos army.
Yeah, this is a little bit more risky. Like, if he had just made nothing but Corruptors, because carriers are coming out, there are only 2 Void Rays. He would just have to kill the 2 Void Rays and then kill the carriers, and like games have ended then and there when that happens. But Ukko is mixing things up a little bit more instead, going for the Mutas and investing in a ground army. Oh, interesting.
Yeah, that is definitely interesting. I guess once, as you typically do, the Mutas will be more for a harassment unit. But yeah, I'm not sure what I think about this. Phoenix is immediately in the production, but once again, the Mutas are just here to harass.
Yeah, and hey, they're gonna kill a lot of probes. Hopefully Ukko respects the fact that he sees the Skytoss, he sees carriers, and he sees Phoenixes on the way. There we go. He starts investing. He gets a second Spire. He needs Corruptors.
Yeah, getting upgrades already as well. Getting Infestation Pit too, which will be nice for the spellcasters later.
Yeah, and I really like that Ukko, he just cancelled +1 range. I was really afraid that he was getting +1 range, like it was not really what you want to be investing in, but he cancels that as soon as he scouts as well, so he knows where to invest his resources.
Yes, indeed. As these Mutas are still getting damage, they got 10 probes the first time, and now they are even sniping workers despite the shield battery.
Oh yeah. You only need 4, I think it's 4 or 5 Mutas to one-shot workers, so shield batteries did not help you. Finally, the Mutas are going to be cleaned up, but you could argue they paid for themselves because 18 probes have been killed this game, largely because of the Mutas.
I mean, it's even more than that. Like, the Mutas got the probes, they got the information, and they also took, like, the attention of Antis as the whole air army keeps staying at home because of them. So I do feel like they have been pretty useful this game.
Oh yeah. And now out come the Corruptors, and Phoenixes don't really do too much against them. But again, this is what I'm worried about. Like, Corruptor production has only just started now. The Skytoss army is still a little bit intimidating, so Ukko has to be a little bit careful, but Antis doesn't feel too confident. He backs off. The other added bonus of the Mutas is that they delayed more carrier production because of the switch into Phoenixes.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, it looks like Antis keeps producing for 2 carriers at a time anyway, while leaving the 3rd Stargate for the support units for them, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, we even see Tempests.
Yeah, Tempests are on the way. Meanwhile, we do have a stasis trap here in the gas geysers. Does confirm that Corruptors are on the way, and oh boy, these Corruptors are going to be beefy as they're working on 2-1 here. Again, double Spire upgrades.
Yeah, double Spire indeed. Yeah. In the meantime, Antis is getting a lot of ground tech as well, by the way. Even Templar Archives is being thrown down right now.
Yeah, which is honestly really necessary. Like, if we just saw a mass corruptor against this kind of army, the Protoss would have a really hard time. We need something to support on the ground. Specifically, Archons are amazing, Storm as well. We definitely do need that to help keep these carriers alive.
Yeah, it would definitely be helpful. You don't want your carriers just being left alone as the Zerg army approaches. In the meantime, Ukko actually going for an Ultra then. I guess it is a common counter to Skytos, right?
Yeah, Ultras are really great, especially if your opponent goes High Templar. Ultras are great to maintain control of the ground. Meanwhile, here we go. Ukko is pulling the trigger. What do we have to defend? We have 3 Void Rays. They activate their Prismatic Alignment. They will force Ukko back. Ukko has to wait until that ability does run out.
Yeah, it looks like Ukko did a little bit damage to the wall, which may be significant for later, but it is being rebuilt now, so... Yeah, Ukko just switching targets, and he see if he can cancel this base.
Yeah, and now the carriers are going to be that much more exposed. Again, with the Void Rays, with so few of them, and without Prismatic Alignment, now would be the opportunity for Ukko to dive in, but he's content with just denying a base, will back off, will continue waiting for his upgrades.
Yeah, and he has many more bases of his own right now, and control almost half of them up by now.
Yeah, he's got plenty of bases to work with. The longer this goes on, the better it is for Antis, though, because again, he's rounding out his army, he's getting Archons. Like, with the introduction of Archons and High Templar, like, we're gonna need some spellcasters, but yo, he dives in!
Yeah, the Zerg Swarm just storms this base, and Corruptors are dealing with the sky, while the Zerglings are destroying everything that's on the ground.
Oh, exactly. Every single Void Ray gets sniped out of the sky. So do some of these carriers. Again, that is the power of all of these Corruptors. And in the end, oh, that was a pretty good trade for Ukko.
Yeah, I mean, half of the air army stayed, but at the same time, 26 even probes fell down as the Zerglings just munched on all of them.
Yeah, and again, very nice control with the Corruptors. You can't just A move in, you have to dance, you have to go back and forth, otherwise the Archons will just annihilate you. And yeah, just very careful and delicate micro there by Ukko, still maintaining his lead.
Yes, it did, and this is just the beginning, because the Ultras are now on the way, so they will soon join the fight too. And the Skytos army is falling.
Oh, exactly. Meanwhile, another carrier and Tempest get focused down. Ukko had to turn around there again. Those Archons do force him all the way back, but Ultras are eventually coming, and their role are to deal with these Archons. Oh my god.
Indeed they are. I think Ukko keeps doing this,
Yeah.
and it's bizarre.
Meanwhile, here we go. The Ultras are here. They're trying to break their way through all those High Templar and Archons at the same time. Oh, the Corruptors are being cleaned up.
Yeah, it doesn't look like they have quite enough the firepower. There's only a few interceptors left, but it's just enough to finish all of them off. And now
Yeah.
the Ultras are alone.
We'll see if this works, because Ukko just remaxed, spent his bank on more Ultras. He has another wave of Ultras on the way, when I'm really concerned just because we need more Corruptors here. It's just enough to take down that Tempest. Only 2 carriers remaining in the sky.
Yeah, and a bit of an unfortunate rally, I feel like. He did snipe the Tempest, but like the rest of the Corruptors just started falling down.
Yeah, that was a pretty inefficient trade. Ukko does have a really good economy, so maybe he can afford it. He just has to be careful. And Antis actually stopped producing Skytos units. No, there we go.
I mean, he's doing a bit of both, I feel like. He's adding some Immortals just to help deal with the Ultras, I believe. As there's a lot of them running into his base right now.
Yeah, the Ultras are breaking on through. There are only a handful of Corruptors, but that may just be enough. They do take down the carriers. I got it. Like, 2 Corruptors are pretty goddamn good. They are going to be able to take control of the skies.
Yeah, now with the Archons gone, there's nothing to contest the Corruptors, and the Ultras can just munch on the base.
Yeah, exactly. There's nothing left here. Literally only 2 Stalkers. That is the army of Antis. 2 Stalkers and a Zealot. We have another weapon, but it's a little bit too late. The 3rd base goes down, and GG gets gold!
And just like that, Ukko qualifies.
GG, well played. Ukko does it. He struggled a little bit in the first game because of the cannon rush, but after that, he knew better. He knew to, man, I just need to go pull first every game.
Yeah.
That's all he had to
I
do.
feel like that's very unfortunate. Where like I would hope that Antis has a bit like more variety prepared when going into this, because like as you said, like I'm not sure even like how much it was like just this series specifically, and how much like Ukko just knows how Antis plays because they are teammates.
True, true.
So yeah, very unfortunate for Antis, but great plays from Ukko.
Very great plays, very great plays. Like the way that he was able to set everything up. Again, reading his opponent really well, going into the fast spire, going into the fast lair, and going for the mutas to force a response. Like it was all very well calculated. He was basically in control of that game from the very beginning, even with the 12 pool, even with it not doing too much damage. Like he just, yeah, he was just controlled everything. GG.
Yeah, like there've been a lot of like small moves which were not actually, I don't want to say meant, but like it wasn't exactly their purpose for to make the game end. Like if they happen to be lucky, they would, but like it wasn't like a big deal if it did not work out, and it was just like, you know, this small little details that just made the victory of Ukko a bit more secure.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it was just really well done. Especially because like I was really concerned after game one. I was like, oh my god, is Antis just gonna do this with Protoss? Is it is this really happening? Alas, it was not happening. GG. And Ukko is now the second player to qualify from the lower bracket. Kuro, we've had a lot of updates while we've been busy here.
Oh, let me check them out. As we go to !B in the chat, we are now looking at the lower bracket.
Oh!
It looks like
Before you get to that, Kuro, can you announce what has been happening in the upper bracket? Because we also we started before they ended as well.
which one? We have first up, we have mCunning versus Future, and do you guys know what the score is? The qualified players that we have is mCunning with a 3-2.
mCunning, the freedom of America, the bold eagle himself, takes down Future.
The embodiment of freedom.
The embodiment of freedom. He takes down Future 3-2. mCunning qualifies from the upper bracket. My god.
That's a great result for mCunning.
Yeah.
Beating Future too is no small deal.
Exactly. Very well played there by mCunning. Congratulations, as he does advance on. Meanwhile, Epic also taking down Pili 3-2. So if you're a Terran enjoyer, Epic has got your back. He makes it through as well. And Asuna 3-2 over BioIce.
I have to say, every time I hear Epic, I just remember the one time you casted him with Yoda.
That was awful.
It was awful. Like Yoda was trying to like squeeze in a pun to like every sentence. Like you could even hardly call it a pun. He just tried to use the word epic as many times as he could.
Shaking my head, Yoda. Shaking my head.
At the same time, it looks like the other matches are mostly ongoing, but we have one that has finished. And it was Future versus Pure Legacy, where Future did take down Pure Legacy 3-0 and qualified from the lower bracket.
GG. Congratulations. So Future will still make it through with a little bit of a worse seed because it is from the lower bracket, but he still makes it to the main event. My condolences to Pure Legacy. He had a bit of a harder time today. Again, Pure Legacy isn't as active as he used to be. He did take down Rocker though, so he didn't go down without a fight. Yeah, he still did put up a fight there.